And action, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are on again. This is Truth Carpet with your best friend duo. I am Unique Love here with my best friend.
It is I, Monie, to the period, dot, what's goody? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? AKA Simone Loud. What's up, y'all?
That's the first time I heard you say your nickname and then all these periods and dots and exclamation points.
Gotta keep it fresh, keep it new.
Keep us on our toes without the bunions. But your hair looks very nice and your pearls and your nose ring.
Look good too, girl. Over there, got it popping over there. Got a little eyeshadow on. You look good.
Thank
You
you.
look good.
Thank you. The funny thing is I only did this part of my hair. I was like, I don't feel like doing anything today.
Hey, it's working for you, honey. You ain't have to do nothing else.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, this part of our podcast, if this is your first time listening, is our check-in. So, Monie, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. A little tired, but I'm feeling good. We in that home stretch right now. The end of the school year is on its way, but it's also like a very busy time of the school year. You got state exams, and then you have like school trips, and then like senior week, and then it's a lot going on at the end of the school year. Teacher appreciation week just passed, and I was like, what an appreciation. These kids are crazy. But I love them. But yes, it's a very, very busy time of the school year. But I'm grateful, and I'm looking forward to the summer and relaxing. And I am happy to announce that I passed my second semester of school.
Oh,
I made it.
how they do it? Clock that.
Clock was passed. Oh my gosh. I literally cried because this last semester was really, really, really hard for me. I'm just juggling everything that I had, and then me doubting myself, like, did I decide to do the wrong thing? Am I doing this at the wrong time? Is it really meant for me to pursue this degree? Why did I decide to do this to myself? Like, it was a really, really hard semester, but I am grateful that I made it through. I did what needed to be done, and I passed.
Congratulations, pal.
Thank you. Transitioning into the next semester, which should be a lot easier, I'm hoping, because I'm not going to be working. I'll have a lot more time to actually focus on school and not have to juggle work and school at the same time, and really work on my schedule and how I want my life to look over the summer. But I'm just a literal sigh of relief that I got to pass those classes. A message to y'all: don't give up on yourselves. I feel like sometimes when we're in it and it's hard, we forget that there's light on the other side. Like, you just got to keep going. Like, everything's not meant to be easy, and if it was, everybody would be doing it. You know how they say. So just having that consistent reminder for myself, like, it's gonna be hard. It's not meant to be easy, but just not giving up on myself and giving myself grace. I think I was forgetting to give myself grace in the process, because I definitely had a lot going on. I went to Uganda, and then we still have the podcast, and I also teach step after school. Like, I got a lot going on. So, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. It's all worth it, and I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel good.
That's good. It feels good to feel good.
It does. And the sun is out, shining, finally taking some nice long walks around the park, okay? That's the weather that it's giving right now. It ain't had no rain in a couple days.
Oh my gosh.
I like that.
Well, I have been feeling the opposite. I remember I was texting one of my friends and we were just talking about groceries or something. And she was like, yeah, I'm waiting for this DoorDash to come. I'm about to cuddle up in the bed. Da, da, da. And I'm like, girl, why you don't want to cook? She's like, girl, I'm at some word she used, phase. And I'm like, what? So I Googled it, and it's one of the phases of your menstrual cycle, the luteal phase. And then I was like, wait, I had to Google that. And she said, yeah, it's been all over TikTok, people making reels and everything. So she sent me the reels, and I said, this is so relatable. But at that time, I wasn't going through it. I was like, enjoy your snacks, enjoy everything. I understand. But I sent the reel to my boyfriend because I know it's relatable content. But that's the phase that I've been in.
Wait, so explain what it is, because I have no idea what it is.
So it's different. Like, you have your luteal phase, you have your menstrual cycle where the egg actually drops. You have, oh my God, I can't think of the the other phases of your period right now. You dropped the ball on me. I wasn't ready. It's your I didn't study it. I'm trying to remember based off of my Googles. But basically your egg is getting ready to prepare for your menstrual cycle. So all of your energy that you usually use, all your blood and everything is getting gathering itself. I guess I'm assuming maybe like that will be the phase or time when you're getting pregnant. So the egg will be preparing to entrap the sperm and prepare the baby. Maybe. I don't know. But your energy is low. Your interests may not be the same. Some people, like your diet changes. You may be really interested. Like before, you're like going to the gym. You see videos often with women going to the gym. They're getting it in reps, pumping iron in the gym. And then all of a sudden, you feel like you don't have that energy like last Friday, I went to the gym and I texted and I was like, "Hey, I went to the gym. I don't feel like I did my best, but at least I went." And that was the first day when it actually started. And I was like, something's going on here. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like counting calories anymore. I just want to be in the bed. Yes, it's nice outside, but I just feel like I'm depressed, but I'm not depressed. And that's what I've been going through. And now finally today, my period is actually, I feel so happy. So even though it's bright and sunny outside, I have been feeling like I just want to hide in my bed, except for when I go to work. I just want to hide in my bed.
The phases that women go through, the things that our body does, like
But the bright side of everything is I've been getting steps in. The days that I do go into the office, I've been getting a lot more than the 10,000 steps that's required or suggested per day. And it feels good because the weather has been not too choppy. It rained a few days, but I've been able to walk around. I walked into Lindor chocolate. I love chocolate, so I walked into that store and bought 70 something balls of chocolate. Because it was yes, because it was less expensive to get the 70 something opposed to the by pound chocolate.
why you need all that
So what I
chocolate?
did was I was like, well, my mom likes chocolate too, so I gifted that to my mom for Mother's Day. And just walking around and seeing what else is out there, taking pictures, like my name is Monie, just going around taking pictures of the buildings and the sky. And I'm sure people thought this girl must be visiting New York for the first time. No, I'll be out here. I'm just enjoying my time, you know. I'm off work. Ain't no rush to go home. I ain't trying to rush to get to the train. I'm just taking in all the vitamin D and everything. So that's what I've been up to, really just transitioning into my role. Trainings are practically over, so I'm actually doing the work, working on getting my hours, and I'm going to be studying soon, feeling like I'm in school. So even though I'm working, I'm studying so that I could advance in my career.
Yeah, come on, dance, level up, get it, girl. Don't stop, get it, don't stop, get
My
it.
energy is still low, even though my cycle is still a little low. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting my skates on, whether it's in the parking deck where I live and where my friends live, or at the park. This is the best time of year for me to skate because going to the skating rink is not cheap. Like going to those classes and everything, um, you got to pay for that. So I'm looking forward to being outside and skating and just taking in the walks, the skating, just whatever's free. Oh, I sent you the Instagram of the festivals that's going to be happening this
There's a lot
spring and
going on.
summer. So yeah, and then you sent me the flyer for what's happening around you. So I'm excited to just enjoy these seasons that are coming up. Other than
Yeah.
that, I forgot until I just looked down at myself on the screen. When you always say your job is not for the weak. Recently, I've been thinking that my job is not for the weak. So this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So shout out to all of the social workers, the counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, all of us in the mental health field. That's why I wore this shirt today. It says mental health matters because it does matter. We go through a lot, going through days of work, taking in everybody's struggles, everybody's lives that they go through every day, and then come home from that and have to shift, whether it's immediately or after 10 minutes, into our own lives, whether we're dealing with ourselves, our partners, our children, whatever it is, it's such a huge shift that I don't think we ourselves or people in our lives pay attention to. And it reminds me of a friend that I used to have who she would never really want to talk about her day to day struggles because she would be so aware of me. Like, I know you had work today and you deal with your clients, and the last thing I want to do is put myself on you. So I share with her, you know what, I appreciate that, but I don't want you to hold back from yourself either. So you can ask me first, like, hey, do you have enough brain power, however you want to word it, for me to share with you? And then, because you're my friend, I want you to share with me. At the same time, I am heavy from the day that I've encountered listening to people um, having suicidal ideations or feeling like they're not enough, or like whatever they're dealing with, or their joys of getting something in life. And sometimes it's a lot of counter transference, which means that your client is expressing something that kind of taps into what you're feeling at that moment in life or sometime in your life too. So, for example, they might be expressing that they are so excited to have a baby. Meanwhile, you're struggling to have a baby. Or they might be sharing that they're going through a breakup and at the same time you're going through a breakup. And you have to be aware of that as a clinician because you don't want that to be your session. That's about that person. So it kind of like it gets difficult. So this month we are celebrating um, the people who work in the field, the people who go through mental health things, which is everybody. There's no such thing as normal or anybody that doesn't suffer with any kind of thing. Shout out to everybody. And shout out to my shirt. Look at the back. It says mental health matters.
Mental health matters, absolutely. It seems like you have to compartmentalize and separate yourself from different situations and act as if you don't have anything else going on while dealing with someone else. That's heavy, and that's a lot to have to hold on to. Speaking of doctors, honey, for the first time, I went to see a chiropractor.
Oh yes, tell the people.
I know you were so confused. Like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
I just
I'm
talked
about to
about it
say,
because you was
Mommy,
like,
you just told us about your education.
right. No, no, not me becoming a doctor. I went to go see a doctor. Matter of fact, it was a black doctor. I was like, yes, black man, crack my back. So I've been having like issues with my back, and stretching just hasn't been enough for me to feel like my back is okay. Majority of the time in my lower back. So like, you know what? Let me go ahead and try and go into a chiropractor. I've always heard like going to the chiropractor, it hurts. Some people say they don't recommend it, but some people have recommended it.
Yes.
And I was like, let me go ahead and stop listening to people and let me just go ahead and go and get this back cracked. Girl, I got twisted up like a pretzel and cracked up, honey. It actually felt really good. It wasn't what I was expecting. It was actually a little shocking. But the pressure that was relieved from my back, it felt so good. Girl, I felt like skipping after it was done. So just during the process, he walked me through it. He let me know what he was going to do, how I needed to hold my body in order for him to crack my back in different places. At one point, he tugged on my feet to let me know where I had tension in my lower back, which was on the left side, which is where I always have pressure at. Standing for, oh Lord, what happened to my voice? Standing for long periods of time while I'm teaching, I always have pressure in my lower back. So to have that
Why is
relieved,
my
and then
back hurting now?
he gonna get that thing cracked, girl.
Oh God.
But I didn't even realize I had tension in my neck. I just went for, to have my lower back seen and my mid back. When he cracked my neck, I cussed because one, it shocked me. I said, oh shit. And then I laughed because the crack was so loud. He was like, yeah, you got tension on the right side of your neck. I'm going to release it. Breathe in, breathe out. The way it cracked, I was like, but it scared the hell out of me. Oh my, I was like, I didn't even realize I needed that. It felt so good. So I'm going to start going. I'm thinking I'm going to go probably about once a month. Start doing that. Like you go get a massage, making sure I am aligned. Like at this point in this day and age, this big old age, honey, I need to keep making sure that I am good in all types of
Right.
ways. There's different ways to make sure that our bodies are doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm like, I'm down with the chiropractor. I'm down with the back crack. I'm down with a little pretzel twisting and
I remember when I used to go because I'm that person who I have the membership for, well, I have the credits for massage therapy and everything like that, meaning like, standard, regular body massage.
Hmm.
And I think it was maybe 3 years ago when I went to a chiropractor, found it on Groupon, and I went and I found out they took insurance because I'm filling out the intake form. And I'm like, why they asking about insurance? Hold up, y'all take insurance? And they said, yes, baby. I was in that thing every other week, getting my back cracked. And like I told you, I think it was maybe the third or fourth time where actually I signed up for cupping and then he did the cupping and cracked the alignment, cracked my back. And that's when I started going. And by the third or fourth time, I didn't hear the cracking anymore, which meant I was doing good. My posture was better, my stretching improved and everything, and I was doing well. But baby, when I got that bill, I was like, why didn't y'all tell me that, yes, you take my insurance, but it's out of network? So I'm saying that because everything that Moni shared, I agree. They do the alignment, they did the cupping, they use the massage gun, they do physical therapy too. But you have to let a sister know that you're out of network. Like I was not expecting that bill. Right. Like what the heck? I'm doing the copay and I gotta pay another fee. So ladies and gentlemen and everyone else listening, go for the chiropractor, but also make sure that when you are being seen that you are in network so you won't get slapped with that bill. But I definitely want to go because yes, massages are great, facials are great, thing all the things, getting your nails done. I ain't going to wild, y'all. Look at my nails. But all those things are great, but mental health, chiropractor, physical therapy, all those things matter too. So do what's good for you. Um, gotta get it done.
Gotta get it done. Take care of you, boo. And is there anything else you want to add when we checking on in before I run it down?
No.
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and jump on into it. Welcome, season 6, episode 6 of Truth Carpet. I'm here to run it down for you with the campus rundown. Today in the icebreaker, the bestie duo, Love Loud, is going to be asking 5 questions, a little back and forth. How well do we know? Will we get the answers right? Tune in to find out. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to, let me, I wish I could explain more. You just got to tune in to find out what questions are and if we truly know who our best friend is. Okay? Do we? Then heading on over into Suite 223, Yaski is going to be giving us some poetry. So make sure you tune in to hear her beautiful voice serenade us with some words, honey. Then into the cap, we got another CAU alumni in the building. We have Kiana Woodson telling us about her journey of being a writer, director, what she loves to do behind the camera and telling stories. So make sure that you tune in for that. She has a wonderful journey that you need to tune in to hear. Then heading on over into the dorm story, Yaya and I are going to be sharing experiences that we've had related to being in media. Then make sure you tune in all the way to the end for the community news.
It's time to break the ice on the mic. Okay, y'all, if you didn't hear the rundown, Moni and I are about to test our friendship. We know you see couples games where they ask a question and then you have to hold up the card and with your answer on it or whatever. So I didn't think you would see through that paper. Hopefully you didn't see. But you hold up the card. What made me think of this game for us is watching Married to Medicine, and I see a lot of times they're doing it with couples. So I thought it would be fun for us to do it as best friends. So let's go.
Okay, let's
So basically, we have to read. So, okay, how are we going to do this? Because not everyone is watching us on Spotify or YouTube. We are going to, I'm going to read the question. Moni has written my response on her cards, and I wrote her response, what I think she's going to say on my card. So I'm going to read the question. I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. You hold up your card. And then we're probably going to laugh because that's real goofy. And then I'm going to say why I wrote down my answer, and Moni's going to say why she wrote down her answer. If the answer is incorrect, then we'll tell each other what the real answer is. And maybe we still agree with the other person's answer, but it's not what we were thinking. All right.
all right, let's
Ready?
do it. Okay.
Number 1. What's your best friend's go-to comfort food when they're having a bad day? 3. 2, 1. Yes. So I wrote down for Monie Mexican food and margaritas. I don't know how to spell margaritas, so I put Marg.
Any day of the week, though.
It still comforts you. And Monie, what did you write?
I put Talenti or Biscoff cookies.
Okay, so I wrote this because Moni loves tacos and burritos and everything, so that's why I think this is your answer. Is this what you were thinking?
You know what? I'll take it.
But
Yes,
you were
I
thinking
would.
what?
Fried chicken.
Oh my god. Okay. Moni wrote down for me Talenti and Biscoff cookies.
You like snacking, girl. It's cookies and Talenti is your kryptonite. You always got some Talenti in the fridge and you always munching on some cookies.
I do. And the funny thing is you answered like I answered, but when I feel like I'm in a slump like I did yesterday, I really want fried chicken. I wanted to order ambassador so bad. Oh my god, but I didn't because I'm trying to save my money. But I want some fried, greasy fried chicken.
Yes, not supposed to be about chicken.
Yes, baby, pass it to me. Well, I might order that today.
My God, I had that yesterday.
Hungry,
No more fried chicken. I'm trying to get back on my health goals. Saturday,
bro.
health Saturday day of cheating.
I got these waist beads on, but the waist beads I want to have on do not fit. So I gotta.
No
I'm gonna
chicken.
get 2 pieces, and then I'm gonna go back because I gotta fit this belt for the concert.
Come on.
Okay, next question. Next question. What's your best friend's guilty pleasure TV show or movie? Oh wait, I got to flip another page. Hold on.
Oh, it was or movie. I didn't
Yeah.
even put movie. I didn't write movie. I just wrote a show. But okay.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What did you write? I can't see.
Real
Yes.
Housewives of what?
I'm moving my booty. I'm moving my booty.
This is Real
Yes.
Housewives of where?
You said wherever.
Real Housewives, wherever they are.
Okay. Moni recently has been watching the show You on Netflix. She loves shows. That's why these latest episodes are all for Moni because she loves TV production, all that stuff. But I feel like I'm doing whatever. Never mind. But she loves Law and Order. She loves that show. She be curled up in her bed. I be FaceTiming her. She be looking like, "Why you FaceTiming me?" Like I be like, "Okay, I'm gonna
Watch.
hurry up and get off this TV. I mean, off the phone." But I don't hurry up. But she loves Law and Order. So shout out to Shawana.
I do love Law and Order. I do. I do, honey. Yes. I gotta catch up on Law and Order Organized Crime. Anyway.
So
Well, I put Real Housewives or wherever because Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of wherever the hell else they are, wherever they are in California, Real Housewives, wherever they live,
I
you
have been
watch it.
watching that one lately because the other ones were slower. But it's Real Housewives of New York, girl. When they did the reboot, oh my god, with the black cast, it's so good. And they used to have
Real Housewives of New York. See, I don't even know these
it's
things.
called Roni, and they also used to have New Jersey. That one was rough. They used to throw tables and everything on that show. I love that show. Yes, I love it. Tonight, we record on Sundays, y'all. So tonight, I will be locked in my screen watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's a
See?
part coming on tonight. Okay, next up. What app does your best friend who waste the most time on? This one is hard because the keyword waste, but I only got one answer. 3, 2, 1.
You know the answer. You know the answer. TikTok. TikTok. I get TikTok every hour.
It's not every hour. I'll be trying to hold it in.
Hour. She on this TikTok again.
Tickety.
You have to text it to me because I don't be in the app.
Yes. I gotta stop sending them to Priscilla because she don't got TikTok. I was like, how her mom liked the TikTok. I sent it, but she watched it through her mom's TikTok so she could see it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I sent it to her mom. I got a screen record. But yeah, I have been on TikTok a lot. But
Hell, I'm like, damn, she on this app again.
if my phone had to answer, I was about to say which TikTok. If my phone had to say what app I spend all my time on, there's like this farming game where you can feed the animals and sell stuff to the people in the community.
You love a cell phone game.
Yeah, I love that game. I love that game. And I've been on Duolingo too. So my answer,
You waste no time on it. What'd you put for me?
Canva.
You can't say I'm wasting my time on that
You be
though.
on that thing, even if it's not Love Loud, you mocking up a t-shirt or mocking up a flyer or coming up with future ideas that ain't even been an idea that's been proposed to even you. You just making up stuff on the key.
I'm always on Canva, but I use it for everything. I use it to make my slides for my classes. I do use it for t-shirt designs. I use it to make posters. I even use it so my students learn how to make movie posters. I use Canva for everything. Canva might as well get behind me.
And if it wasn't Canva, if you were still spending time on Duolingo, you'll be like, but I'm practicing my French. And if I said it's TikTok, then you'd say, but I'm looking up reels for Love Loud. I'm getting ideas for Love Loud. It would be something.
But you know what? I can honestly say I waste my time on Instagram sometimes because I'll just be scrolling and I end up down a rabbit hole and I'll be like, how did I end up on this side of Instagram?
Yep.
Girl, get out. Why? I just be
And for me, I'll go on there because I'm watching the show and I'm like, dang, this show is so good. I want to look up this actor. And I get on the app and I'm scrolling. I forget what I got on the app for. That's how it be. All right. Number 4. If your friend had to live without one of these forever, out of pizza, chocolate, or fries, which one would your best friend give up? 3, 2, 1. Yes! Sorry to scream in y'all ear. Is this right, Monie? I said chocolate.
girl, that is absolutely wrong. I am not giving up chocolate. I need my chocolate fix.
So, what are you giving up?
I would give up pizza.
Okay. Why did you say I want to give up pizza?
Because you don't like pizza. You don't really eat pizza like
That's
that.
not true.
Pizza to give it up. You've said we've had this conversation before. You're not a pizza person. You're not gonna be like, let's go get some pizza.
So you sound like you sound like my coworkers. I am not gonna say let's go get pizza. It's the reason is because it makes my stomach hurt and it in the heartburn part. I think it was you that said maybe it's the sauce because I kept complaining
Yeah.
about my chest. But I love me down some pizza, girl. I had Queen's pizza my first week of work. Couldn't get that out because Queen's Pizza operates Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. During the work hours, they know people at the downtown going to be going there for pizza. What about me on a Saturday? I want pizza. I can't go. I don't want no Papa John. I want Queen's Pizza. So I got me some Queen's Pizza and it was delicious. It was worth it. I had 4 slices.
Work your tummy.
It ain't 8. But after when I came from Paris, I was like, I had ice cream, I had cheese, I had all this stuff. I'm good. But that American cheese and milk is different.
It sure is.
But I would give up fries because I love me down some chocolate.
I do. I love me down some chocolate. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could give up fries too.
Yeah,
I love fries though. I would get fries before I get pizza.
for real, for real. All right, this one was difficult. If your best friend were a season, not food seasoning, out of 4 seasons, which
Sorry.
you salty. Which one would they be? 3, 2, 1. Aww. Okay, I said fall for Monie.
And I said spring for Yaya.
I said fall because of it sounds weird. I said fall because of your hair color, your eye color, and your fashions. I feel like your fashions pop more in the fall. And I also feel like people who can really dress better or show who they are in the fall and winter. But I feel like that's when you pop more. Like spring and summer, you look nice.
You look nice.
But it's just something about like fall and the fall that's like I feel like that's you. Like even though you weren't born around that time, I feel like that's you. Like that's Simone.
Clock it. Clock it. Clock that. Yep. Yes. Fall is my favorite season, honey. Yes. Especially when it's not too cold, not too hot. And put a nice my little packy jacket. Come on with the boots.
With the boot.
I said spring for you because you got you love planting, you love the flowers and the growth, you got your green thumb
Yeah,
going, the growth, the blossoming. So, plus you have a bubbly spring spirit.
you forgot the
It's kind of like
shoes.
it's giving a viewer drink is giving prosecco.
Yeah, I like that answer. I like that answer. I like fall and spring because of the in between seasons. It's not too hot, not too cold. I love the flowers blooming and everything like that. So that was good. That was good. Clock that. Clock that. All right. Our last question: which is most important to your BFF? Is it hair, nails, shoes, or purses? Three,
This was
2, 1.
what the heck is all of that writing?
I said I want to say shoes because she loves sneakers, but she gets her hair done a lot. And she used to switch up her wigs daily in college. So I say hair.
I did not change my wigs daily. Mind you, I was wearing wigs. People was like, why you got on wigs? Like me having on a wig was not a thing to do. I loved a wig in college. Get out my business. Now everybody's rocking wigs now. Anyway,
That was my answer.
but I said hair. Yeah, hair, definitely hair,
Why?
because you ain't going nowhere. You gonna make sure that hair is dead. You gonna make sure that hair is done.
Yes.
Okay, what? Yes, but you
I'll
right though.
throw in some sweats with a nice hair or a nice wig.
Right, hair gonna be
Yes.
done. So hair for both of us.
Yes.
It was only hard because I'm like, dang, shoes will come second for me. Not gonna hold you. Shoes will come second for me. Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
have a lot of purses. I have a lot of heavy, meaning like costly purses. And I have nice shoes too, but I forget like what shoes I have. And I'd be like, oh, I forgot about these heels. But my nails as of recent and my hair's top one. And then I think second would have been nails. Cause I think I have so many shoes and have so many purses. It's like, just grab one and go.
Yeah, I was literally walking through shoe stores yesterday trying to decide what my next pair was gonna be. I walked in 3 shoe stores. I was like, if I can't decide on the spot, then I don't need them. But I'm gonna go back. I took a picture. I said, if I still want them tomorrow, I'm gonna go back and get them.
Is it for an occasion that we have coming up or just because?
It's for an occasion that we have coming.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I want to do something sparkly, but I also want to do like a little blue something. I don't
Okay,
know. So it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute.
okay.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk about
I
that.
know, I know, I know.
Oh, y'all gonna have to wait and find out.
Yes. And with that being said, we have come to the end of our icebreaker segment. We hope that you not only enjoyed it, but learned more about us. And thanks for
Yes,
joining in.
and we do know our bestie. We know each
Because
other,
even though some things were wrong, I was like, okay, you're not off.
but it makes sense. That's why you chose that.
Yes, fuck that. And next we have our next segment, which is Sweet 223. Welcome to our Sweet 223 segment, which is our poetry segment, which is a very staple segment of our show because we are poets who
Yes,
have a poetry book.
yes,
This
we
is our
do.
second volume. She's so silly, y'all. And I'm going to share a poem from this second volume. It's been a while since I shared this poem, and I want to share it today. It's called Pursuing. I'm scrolling through our messages, trying to peep where the best of this was birthed. This whole situation we got. Mind is boggled, stomach tying in knots. Come on, I message. Load. I'm striving for the top. When did this rotate and you begin to put in work to pursue me? I'm feeling myself falling for you. I'm trying to grasp a clue of what it is that I had to do to have you do all that you had to do to win me over. Heart's no longer cold, or no longer am I hiding behind this boulder which made me feel secure. Or so I thought. For so long, I fought to call. Sorry. For so long, I fought to keep these feelings at bay and remain friends. And now I'm bay. But so are you, scrolling through my DMs, fighting to grasp a clue of what I did to have you do all the things that you've done to get me to be your boo. When did we switch from being just cool? How did we jump into conversation about where we went to school and how often we work out, what I do for work, and how often you have doubts, your desires and your passions and the beauty you found gazing into my eyes, and how I'm looking to find true love and done with dealing with these random guys. How to switch from seeing you at that function and hoping you be at this to interlocking fingers and sharing our first kiss, or being associated to wanting to commit, or speaking randomly about this post and that in our DMs, text threads, Facebook, and Snapchat. How did we leave our virtual existence and end up face to face, phones tucked away when we coexist in the same place? I'm scrolling through our threads, attempting to comprehend how we grew from being strangers to being, well, this. How did it? Oh, y'all, excuse me for stuttering over the lines, but I like that poem. Stutter, 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 stutter.
That's a good throwback piece. That's a good throwback piece. Oh, I love that poem. Come on, talk about it.
We usually do the muse, but I'm gonna share because I've shared that poem before, so you can go back and listen to the muse. But while I was reading this poem just now, it made me think of this show that I just finished watching yesterday, and I finished in 2 days while I was hiding while I'm on a
Right.
period. It's called Forever on Netflix. It's such a beautiful show. So I'm not going to share too much about the show, but I think that everyone should watch the show. It's basically about young love and a little, say little because they're teenagers, but two cute little things falling in love with each other and trying to like push through that through things that you go through in life. Some things that was explained in the show I actually not to the T but experienced in some kind of manner and felt the same way. Like for example, struggling with trying to tell your parents something that you're going through because you don't want them to feel bad and all these other things, or like how do I say this to this person, and just different things. But the love part of it, just growing a friendship while growing a love, or like being enamored with somebody, is like, dang, that junk switched real quick. Like even when I think about my caring partner, like bro, like I remember staring at you across the room, texting my friends. I don't know if I told him that, but texting my friends like, "Yo, he looks so fine." I don't know this. Like, and then you was like, "I thought you were done shooting your shot with people." I'm like, "I think I might have to shoot this one because he is fine." Oh my god, he's so fine. Oh, fine. But anyway, um, yeah, yeah, it's just always so funny how like even if it's a friendship, one minute
Mhm.
I didn't know you at some point in life, and now I'm here telling you all my business, or when I'm going through something, you're the first person or second person that I'm texting it to, and now I'm copying and pasting the same message that I sent to Simone and Ronald. I'm texting it to you too. Like you a part of my circle. It's just so funny. Like, dang, I really know you
Yeah.
now. It's so funny.
Literally, like starting off as like I didn't know you at all. Now I'm telling you everything. You know everything about me. You know when I'm upset. You know when I'm happy. You know what to do to put me in a good mood. You know how much space I need when I'm upset.
You know, I need a chicken wing.
Yeah, you know when I'm hungry. You know what comfort food. You
Yes.
know when you check on me at certain points of the day. I feel off when if I don't hear from you by a certain time of the day. Like
No,
you're
I
a
can't.
part of you're a part of my world, my everyday, and it's off. It will be off if you're not around, you know. So like I remember when I didn't have you around, and now that you're here, I can't imagine you not being here. You know,
Yeah.
I miss that. I mean, I love that for you, but
Thank you.
somebody that you know is like is there for you, somebody that you could spend time with and share your deepest darkest secrets, but at the same time still getting to know each other every day, a thought partner.
Somebody who puts up with me during my luteal phase. Bless him. Oh my god, like I be like, oh my god, I be so nervous that he gonna break up with me because I be going through.
And this is why I say women are crazy. It's not us, it's the cycle.
Yes, like yesterday when I text you that I was going through menopause because I don't know when my period is.
You are not going through menopause. Stop looking up stuff on the internet. This is normal. Cut it out. You're not there yet. And by the time you get there, you're going to be in denial that it's done started. The time has not come. I'm going to change. No, you're not.
Monie, when I'm going through, I'm like, where them fans at?
Because I'm hot now.
Oh, whoa. My period ain't here anymore. Somebody take away my mic.
Please, please. No more mic for you. Cut it off. Cut it off. Have mercy. Jesus. And with that, we are done. we go mosey out of Suite 223 and head on over to the cab.
Yeah.
So we can get these, what is it?
Hot topic segment with Kiana. Okay, everybody, we are now in the cast segment of our podcast episode, and yet again, I feel like it's like running every freaking episode that we have another Clark Atlanta University alumni on our podcast with us. Also from Funny, we call our one segment Sweet 223, but from the Sweet Step team, we have Kiana. It's been so long. Oh my God. Welcome to the Truth Carpet.
How you feel?
Yes, it's so good to see you too.
Yeah, it's so good to see you
In a
too.
while outside of like keeping up with y'all on social, and I'm just so excited with what you guys are doing with the podcast. So thanks for asking me to be on.
Why not? Why not? You doing things. You making moves. We had to have you.
Yes, of course. Seeing things that you're doing is like, oh my God, I have to ask her some questions because I love double tapping and all that stuff, but I want to know more about like what you're doing. So first of all, some people are like, who is Kiana? So if you were to meet somebody on a promenade, on a street at work, what would you say? Like, hi, I'm Kiana. Like, how does that introduction
I would really
go?
say, hi, I'm Kiana. Hi, I'm Kiana Woodson. I am a writer-director. I'm also an overall creative. I currently am a senior social media manager at Wondery, which is a podcast studio under Amazon. And yeah, I just feel like I'm overall creative, to be honest. I just love creating.
Yes, absolutely. Come on. Welcome to the creative table.
The interesting thing is you've always been a creative, so it's also like really fun on the other end as a person that's watching you grow to see you go through these things that you're going through. So our first question is, tell us about your journey. What inspired you to get into what you're doing now?
So I'll start with the film side because the film side definitely led into what I'm doing now. Well, even before that, let's go back to Clark.
Yes.
Right, girl. Yes, let's start from the beginning. So actually when I started at Clark Atlanta, I was a fashion major. I didn't do film at all. You could not tell me that I wasn't going to be designing something, dresses, just a full line. I wanted that dream since I was like 12. And I used to sketch all the time. And then my senior year of high school, I got a little digital camera. And then for college, I got a little Mac. And I think all of us were just like making videos at the time, and just recording whatever we could. And I just had so much fun just recording my friends and doing a little Mac camera videos. And that turned into making videos on campus for different organizations. And it kind of just went on from there. And this is the first semester of Clark Atlanta. Kareem, if everybody remembers Kareem, he went to Clark Atlanta, he was our RA. But he actually was just like, he saw my videos, just like, I'm a mass media major. I feel like you should change your major. And I was like, no, because I'm a Taurus and I'm stubborn. And he was like, no, I really, really think you should consider it. Like, your work is pretty good. I think you would do really well in that program. He truly said, you have better work than some of the people that I'm classmates with. And I was like, no, not me. So I went home, Christmas break, and I just was like, just thinking about it and was like, okay, this is something new that I could learn. If I ever wanted to return to fashion, then I could, or I would try to. But I do like doing this. I do have fun doing it. And, it's just a new exploration. If I'm going to pay my money to go to school for something, maybe I'll just learn something completely new. So I changed my major, never looked back. I tried to start sketching recently and I was like, girl, let it go. But that went into, just taking different classes with Dr. E and Professor Lundy and just like learning so much just about the industry and film in general and music videos. And then I graduated and I was like, I truly didn't know what I was going to do, to be honest. That wasn't when I was like, oh, I'm going to be a director at that point. Like, I knew that I liked it, but that's not what I thought I would do. And then I worked in hair care. And then I was like, you know what? I want to go back to school. And I went to SCAD for my MFA in film. And that's like, there's an in between moment in there where I was just like, okay, I really want to go back to school for this. But that kind of just skyrocketed me wanting to really just settle on writing and directing and go from there. And I stuck with that, moved to LA, and then realized that entertainment industry is very large and vast, and somehow ended up in podcasts.
I love that. Our journeys are actually sort of similar. I went to CAU, went into with political science, and I
Yes.
was like, let me see how I could still be a lawyer. Like I can do entertainment law, but I don't have to be political science. I can go to mass media and do the entertainment law. But come to find, law wasn't where it was meant for me to be. I love the
Mhm.
camera. I love storytelling. So
Yeah.
I ended up changing. I think it was my second semester after Christmas break. I changed my major to mass media.
That was a lesson.
Wow. That's funny to the memories that's coming back to my mind because I do remember I think it was Kiana, Queen, and Kodak and DJ sometimes will be on the promenade stopping to interview people and all the fun things. So yeah, now just going back to where you
Queen.
started and where you are now.
Who
Yeah.
just reminded me of Queen, the media maven.
Yes.
Shout out to Queen.
Speaking of queens, were there any black women in film or media who influenced you to take the path that you've taken?
Yeah, which is so interesting because I feel like film is such a male dominated industry, and I realized that I've actually had probably a lot of male influences, but I would say if I'm gonna go with women, um, definitely for sure, I would start I'm gonna go back to Professor Lundy because I don't think that I thought film could be like a career growing up. Like that wasn't really something that I was like told or taught. Like my mom was, she knew that I was a creative being. My dad is also a very creative being, so I knew that there were outlets via art, but just film was just not one of those things. And when I changed my major, one of my first professors was Professor Lundy, and I was in, I can't remember the name of the class, but we were learning about writing treatments for music videos. And I remember having so much fun just working on that and just ideating. And then we had to like shoot a music video. And I did one to, it was Miguel's song. What was that song? Girl with a Tattoo. Um, and I just had so much fun with it. Like at that time, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be a music video director. And then also at that time, Vashti, you all remember Vashti? Vashti
Name
Cola.
sounds familiar.
Yes, Vashti Cola. She was in New York, and at that time, like she was music video directing, DJing, doing all these things, and she was like an overall creative. And I was like, if there I could pinpoint someone that I would want to be like it at that time, I was like, oh, it would be Vashti. Um, and then I obviously I dreamed like change a time when I would explore more films and dive into different things. I remember when Ava was coming up with her projects and just how influenced I was just to see her doing it big and just like really elevating. Going back to like Gina Prince Bywood with like, if I'm really going back, like Love and Basketball and things like that, and just kind of diving more into their journeys and learning more about Sundance and the Sundance program. It kind of like started growing from there. But I would have to pinpoint the first person was probably Rebecca Lynn.
Oh, take it back to CAU all the
I know.
way.
Yeah.
I was like, that's truly where it was, like from a woman's standpoint. And also I think at the time when I was exploring movies, like I've always loved movies, but I was always focusing on what was on screen and never behind the scenes on how you can break it down and create it. I was more so like focused on the storytelling and the characters. So like growing up, like my thing wasn't music videos. My thing was like young adult movies. Like I was a huge 80s movie buff. Like
Aw.
I love John Hughes movies. Like I just did. And I loved musicals and I loved like just anything that's explored like the young coming of age story was like my favorite thing. And I used to eat that up. I used to eat that up with books too. But probably because it was relatable at the time, but I'm still like that. So.
I love how Simone's smiling so big because if I close my eyes and change the voice a little bit, it kind of sounds like Simone talking. Like she loves going down the block, taking pictures of flowers and all the random stuff and putting the things together. Even though she like, oh my God, it's time consuming, but she be so excited. So it kind of sounds like I'm talking to Moni again. And I also loved how you like someone can easily say a TV star, somebody that has a major name, but I love how you took it back to somebody who taught you is the person that inspired you to, continue your endeavors. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I love how you mentioned like you didn't even think that it was a career path, like
Mhm.
something that you can actually do.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so I love how it sparked like, oh, I can actually take this path. I'm a super creative person. I can go down this route and actually start and create things that are up here. You
Mhm.
know, I've always seen it. Now I know I can do it too. It's not just
Right.
something that, it's not something random. I
Right.
can make money from this.
Exactly. Because no, like my mom is a nurse. Like my dad has had a million jobs. My dad has had a million jobs. I love it. He's had like a magazine at one point, a newspaper, a
Oh
baseball card.
wow.
He is a creative person, and I think I kind of have that where it's like you kind of can dabble in different things. So I probably get that from him. But yeah, I just didn't think, oh yeah, film director, like that's the job that I was gonna do. And then also I grew up in New Jersey, so it's like I wasn't really seeing that. Like fashion made sense, New York,
Yeah.
like, and then moving to Georgia, like I knew there were creatives, like people on the radio, people on TV, but like not to the extent of like, oh, I can sit there and really take my ideas, put it on paper, but also I can direct that whole vision or I can bring someone else's like writing to life visually. Like I wasn't thinking about it like that.
Hmm. With your work, are you touching all aspects? So are you writing and sitting behind the camera and doing like everything? What exactly does Kiana do?
So me, I consider myself a director. I've worked with writers. I think I'm in a period now where I'm trying to go back to like finding my writer's voice, and bringing my stories to life because I have ideas all day, and I have the idea, write notes. I was just telling this to somebody. My dreams are also very vivid. So I feel
Mhm.
like I have full blockbuster dreams. So like I write them down, but I never really do anything with them. But I'm at the period like, okay, I want to write my own stories. But I did love collaborating with different writers. I collaborated with the writer, her name is Nakia Stevens, on a few projects since I've been in LA. And I love like someone who just understands me, but also I understand her and how to bring her writing to life. Um, I do love that aspect of it. So I would say more so I'm in the directing space. I am not built to be a producer. Love that for the world.
That's
Um,
a piece.
I need someone to get me going. I am very much the creative, like push me.
Yeah.
But I just love to touch so many different elements, and I think being a director allows me to do that.
Mhm.
Um, from pre-production, like really putting it together, like talking to the production design team and like see how we build out the world and like to the writers or like me writing. Like I love that stage of it, but I love the production stage and like tapping into like the gaffer and like talking. I love talking to the grips. I love talking to everybody and just understanding what they're doing, but also like seeing everybody work in hand to bring this thing to life. Like
Mhm.
it's such a machine and just such a fun space to be in. And the energy is great, especially when you have a great set and good people. It's just always so much fun to just be collaborating together. And then the post side, you're touching that as well with the edit. A lot of people, if you know me, know that I have an editing background as well. And I used to edit a lot. So it's like I love to be able to tap into that, but then also work with creatives that are, more experienced or more, you know, better in that role than I am or I consider myself to be and to try to bring the vision to life. I also love the music. It's my favorite part. Music in films is my favorite part in the world. If I wasn't a director, I would probably be a composer if I was musically
Mm.
inclined.
Oh, I love that. So, from a director's perspective, how do you decide like which project you are going to work on? Like, what's like, yes, I want to bring this to life. I love this.
Here's the thing. For me, if I can read it and I can see it, then I want to do it. It's pretty as simple as that for me. I think I'm at a point now where I'm like, I want to bring the visions that I have to life, but when I was collaborating with different writers, it was more so like, what is my take on it? Like, how can I put my stamp on it or add my color to it? Because yeah, usually if I read it and I'll be like, oh, okay, I can see exactly how this goes. And my mind's just start running wild. And I'm just like, oh, this will be fun. I can tap into it. And if it's a challenge, I'm also like, oh, I can definitely tap into this. Um, but yeah, it just depends. If I connect with it, then I connect with it. And that's how I would select. But I feel like I've been pretty blessed for the few projects that I have worked on, that it has been like, oh, I connect with this. I totally understand this. I totally understand why you might have reached out to me. And I feel like I could add some depth and like a visual depth to it, because the depth is already there in the writing, but a visual depth to it that I can bring to it.
I'm not a director or producer, none of that, but I definitely get what you're saying. The only script I read were Monie's, but I know what you mean. When I read a novel, Monie and I say this all the time. We love to like actually see what the author is saying. So I'm just imagining how you feel. You know, you get so excited, and then I guess you're excited to put it into play so that the viewers, people who
Yeah,
want to actually see this film, can actually see it, opposed to
yeah,
it just being on paper. So.
exactly. I think it's a cool thing to be in, like, I read this thing and I saw it in my head. How do I make that a reality so other people can see it the same way that I saw it?
Mhm.
And I think it's a fun thing to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a talent too, because as a viewer, when I see things, it's like, wow, the script itself, the music, the messages that's all behind it is
Mhm.
it's all coming together and blended well. So
Right.
if you were writing, how do you decide what comes first? Is it the script? Is it the music? Is it the message that you want the people to understand from it? Like, how does it go?
Yeah, if I'm not writing, it's definitely the script is the blueprint. Like, that's the starting point for everything, right? Writers need more credit because it's the starting point
Yes.
for everything. But from there, it is about character, and then the character's journey and what they're going on, who they are. I really love diving into like the actual person that is in this story. Like, what are they learning? What are they experiencing? What's their background? And how do I bring their world and point of view to life? Because they're the center of it. Um, and I kind of like try to view it from their lens. And then from there, it's like, you take that and then like, okay, let's build the world now. Like, how do I see this visually? Like, or like, I'll talk about like if I do like a director's treatment, like I start with the character and then I'm going into like, how do I view this world? Like, what do I want to convey to the viewer that is happening? So like, I use that with different colors. I'm really into color theory. And then just also like thinking about like how do we want to shoot it? Like think about, though I know that's the cinematographer's job, but I even think of that like I really like these type of angles. I like these different shots. I like these type of lenses. I like because I feel like different lenses could also tell the story differently.
Hmm.
Um, because I know, for example, my thesis, I worked with a great cinematographer named Miss Blair in Atlanta, and we were talking about this story that was about, a boy who was basically revisiting a point of trauma in his life, which was like the death of his father. And he was, going through the journey of trying to make it back to face that moment head on, actually physically. And I wanted to tell the story differently because it shows the present day and the past. So like I use color for that. Like in his present day scenes, everything is blue. Um,
Mm.
and then for his past scenes, everything is very warm and saturated. Kind of like just how if you look at old photos and just like think of something of nostalgia, like everything is very warm and cozy, and I wanted to replicate that. So that was a big thing for me, is like making sure that those colors were consistent throughout how we shot it, how we color corrected it later, what
Mhm.
everybody was wearing, like making sure that that makes sense color wise. Like everything that he wore was, well, I mean, he only had one outfit, but everything he wore was blue. Everybody in that scene was blue. Everybody was a little bit warmer or leans warmer. Things that we had on set also lean to that. We used all blue props in the first one, and we used all warmer tone things in the past. So, and we use vintage lenses because we wanted to be able to capture that nostalgia by using an older lens that could replicate that time period. So it kind of goes off from there. But yeah, you can kind of take it and I'm very detail oriented, so I like to dive into the small little details. But I think ultimately, if I'm not writing it, it's starting with the script.
I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, personally, as a writer, like, it's all about the character development for me. Like,
Yes.
I love that process. Some people think I'm crazy, but
No.
I love creating the characters and how their mind works and what they want and what they need and why they
Right.
choose to do the things that they do. But then also, I think some people don't even think about the process, like the things that you were talking about, like the lighting, the mood. How do you want people to feel when they're watching this scene? Like, what little aspects can I add on screen that I can convey how I want people to feel when they watch this?
Exactly.
People don't think about that. Like,
It's
you know how you felt by the end of that movie? We had to come up with we had to think how we were going to do that.
right.
Yeah.
Everything is a strategic thing into creating what you said, a feeling.
Yes.
Everything is strategically done to make you feel something.
Yeah, and I
All it
think
takes.
it's more than just picking up a camera and shooting. Some people think like I'm gonna make a movie, I'm gonna pick up this camera, I'm gonna shoot this thing. That's great, but also like, what story are you trying to tell? What's the message? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the topic? How
Yeah,
do you want me to feel by the end of this? What's the journey I'm going on as a viewer? Like that,
exactly.
people don't think about that part. They just
Yeah.
see
No,
the
yeah, because they're just like, and they're so swept up in it. But it's like if you're just watching as a viewer, that's something I learned when I was at SCAD. It's like you have to watch from a viewer, and also watching as like the director or cinematographer or whatever your role is. But as a viewer, you just get swept in it, and you don't even realize why you're swept into it. Like, yes, there's the core story of that, but it's like you're not realizing how music affects a scene, like how that music is like whether it's composed or that little needle drop, like that's supposed to make you feel something. That's supposed to transport you somewhere on
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Mhm.
Like colors are supposed to make you think specific things to where you can associate it to the character or associate it to what is happening in the scene. Like people don't realize how strategic it is. Also, people don't realize how it foreshadows things or tells you things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some things like the music or something, it gets me on the edge of my seat. Like, ooh, it's about to happen to him. Something about to happen to him. Or I get so emotional, like, dang, my heart broken. I feel so sad. I don't know if it's the colors, the music. I feel that
It's all
message.
of it.
Yeah.
It's the performance, it's the production design, wardrobe, it's the music, it's all of it. All of it.
Dang, the rain started pouring. I feel my heart, my heart.
It's like everything's symbolic. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So when
definitely.
it's done correctly, it's definitely flawless because it
Mhm.
like when things tie together, when there's like a quote or a message from a different person, when they're like little what they call it, Easter eggs inside of
Mhm.
movies or anything produced, it's like, ooh,
Mhm.
like as the viewer, you get so excited to see how things tie together or what's really gonna happen. Is what I guess gonna happen or
Yes.
what? But yeah.
Oh, I love an Easter egg. Give me
Me
a good
too.
show that has a bunch of Easter eggs, a bunch of symbolism, and I have to dive in and watch all these videos to dissect everything. Give me that. That is my
Yes, I love it.
favorite thing.
So, as a regular degular person, it sounds like a lot that goes into it. A lot of key players. Even when you said as you're the producer, and then you said the cinematographer, the person,
Cinematographer.
cinematographer, and it's so many key players. So, with us as humans, with having different attitudes or different wants and um, finishes that we want, I'm sure a lot goes into it and probably a lot of headaches too. But
Mhm.
even if you want to touch on that, that's fine. But if something else, what's the biggest challenge that you um, had to go through or overcome in this industry?
Good question. The biggest challenge in the industry is um one, the industry is massive. There's a lot that you can do. I'm gonna say that my personal biggest challenge sometimes is myself.
Mm, I wasn't
Mm.
expecting that.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
My ears are open.
I know. And I say this being very candidly. As a creative being and someone who has a lot of ideas and stuff like that, you can kind of get stuck in your own way where, we all deal with self doubt or situations where it's like, that's too big, or
Mm,
girl, can you really do that? Even like before, if I'm going to do a project, I'm just like the recent projects, like it's always a time before where literally have to fight myself the thoughts like, is this too much? Is this too big? Is this too, it's like, girl, you can do it. You've done it before. Like, fine, you're fine. Like, and do that. But I think being in LA is one thing. It's very inspiring, but it can also be very daunting. It's also very interesting in the current state that the industry is currently in because it's a lot of change happening. I see so many people like that are like, I'm trying to make it and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And it's hard to being like, dang, am I not doing enough? Or I need to be doing more. I can't get comfortable in my job. I can't get comfortable with this. It's why you moved here. Like it's a lot of going back and forth. But then it's also really hard to watch so many creatives also around me that are going through transition periods as well because people aren't hiring as much. People are just are not taking new ideas. They're not taking bets on young filmmakers as much as they have been. And it's always been a struggle, but it's definitely something that is noticeable, especially as Black creatives in, the film industry and the TV industry. Like there are a small few people that are getting those bets and chances, and a lot of people are just not. So I've seen people move home. I've seen people get tech jobs, but I also see the people that are still going and still fighting hard for it. And that part is inspiring to being like, okay, girl, like you have your stories. You have every right to tell it. And if you tell it as an indie, at least you're telling your story. At least you're putting something out into the world because someone is going to watch it and someone's still going to be impacted by it. Yes, it's not a big blockbuster thing yet, or you're not there in your journey yet, but it doesn't mean that you should stop just because you're not doing the bigger thing. I also have a thing personally that's also very candid of I was watching something recently, I can't remember what it was, where it's like we all have a fear of watching people watch us fail. Um and I know that's a big fear of mine where it's like I want to do something and I want it to be seen like I'm doing well, or I want to be seen that I am doing, at least a great job at it and having some type of success in it. But it's like, I also have a fear of being like, well, what if it doesn't go right? Or what if it's not well received? Or what if, people are just like, this is terrible. Like, nobody wants to see it was Dochi. From somewhere. But I think that's just the part of the journey and the creative. That's something that I'm learning now. Like, it's your first thing that you write is going to be bad. Your first draft is always going to be bad. It's not going to be good. You have to keep going. You have to keep breaking it. Not all your films are going to be amazing. Some of them are just not going to work. Not everything is perfect that you're going to hit gold every time. But there's also gold that can come from the mistakes. And I have to go back to like just things that I've learned, like when film school and just doing own projects, like things are going to go wrong always. However, in the mistakes, there's always going to be little moments to pivot and make something better. And it's going to be better than probably what you imagined it to be. It might not go as planned. It might not go exactly how you have it in your treatment and in your planning, everything that you've done in pre-production, because nothing is perfect. But there are situations and opportunities that you have when you're creating something and on set that you can make that actually might turn out better than you did before, even in the edit. Sometimes there are different changes where he's like, you know what? I don't need this scene, or I could remove this, or let me just focus on this one shot instead of, the crazy shot that I spent so much time on. Maybe it's more impactful for me to just focus on this one person and stay there. That might be more impactful. It's multiple things. I'm rambling, but
no, I love it.
Yeah.
Because I tell my students all the time, same thing, a couple of things that you said. When your first draft will never be your best draft.
Yeah.
That's the part of the writing process.
Yes.
Don't expect it to be good. I call it the process. Just throw up on the paper, write everything, get everything out,
Right.
do what you need to do. Now we're starting the editing process. Now
Right.
let's see what works and what doesn't. But I always also tell them that whatever's in that script might not make it, get filmed on set, and what gets filmed on set might not end up in that edit. And that's
Right.
okay. That's okay. That's a process.
It is a part of the process, and it's an ever-changing process until you're just like, I'm sending this out into the world and I'm complete. And even at that moment, you're just like, always like, I could add this, I could do this. Like, no, it is done. I'm good. Send it out into the world as the product that it is. But yeah, it is a process in itself.
Yeah. Fun, stressful, creative, but
Fun, stressful. The only stress that I like, truly, I was like, I do not do well with stress. But if there's one type of stress that I actually can tolerate, it is the filmmaking process.
process stress.
I love that you shared the answer that you did, which is that you are your biggest struggle.
Mhm.
Because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something else. But it's whether you're working in film or any career path, a firefighter, a plumber, whatever it is, I think that anyone in whatever path they're working in can
Mhm.
take what you just shared and just if they change film or writing into what they're doing,
Mhm.
it streams well with everybody. So that hit home for me.
Yeah. We're all our biggest critics. I think
Yep.
it's just a universal truth. It gets in the way of a lot of us. Like, but it's what's on the other side of that doubt. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
And I think something that I knew going into moving to LA that I kept telling myself is like, move now because you don't want to look down in your life and be like, what if I would have went? Like, what my life would look like. And now I'm like having to ask myself now, like, girl, write the projects, write what you want to do and tell your own stories because if you don't, you're going to look down in your life and be like, what if? So now me saying this, I'm going to hold myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
As you should.
Right.
Write the story.
Yeah,
Create your own table. Create your own space.
exactly.
Put the story out there. Don't need to sit on it, you know. You already know what the process is like. Now go ahead and get started.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Y'all can keep me help. Y'all can hold me accountable.
Yeah, go ahead and get started. Get to
Get
Typing.
type
I know. Get to typing,
like that Kermit meme.
Right.
outlining, get into typing. I'm like, who writing? I was like, I do enjoy when I'm in it. I enjoy it, but who did I hear say it's nothing scarier than a blank page just staring back at you. Like
Mm.
it's tough because you're just like, where do I start? Where do I
Yeah.
go? But you just have to write. You just have to
Just keep swimming.
let it out.
Just keep swimming. So, talking about writing and telling stories, how does your identity as a Black woman influence your storytelling?
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. I am always gonna be attracted to female characters. Always gonna be, want to tell the stories of Black people in general across the diaspora. But like that is everything to me. I think that has been something a part of my life, just my whole career, like as many changes as I've had. It has always been about, to some extent, Black storytelling, but also Black women. Like outside of film, like I worked in the beauty space for 5 years as like, I started in I started so many places, but in social and wore many hats, and it ended up being like a brand manager for that company. And my focus was Black women. When I moved to LA, I worked at OWN. That was my first job here. And I was a social content creator. And that led me to, just establishing the content first, but then going into like how we building out the marketing campaigns. And our main focus was Black women. Like that is our audience. That is who I'm speaking to. That is who I'm creating for. Even at Wondery now, like, yes, we have so many different podcasts. We're known for true crime. We're known for a lot of like history, journalist, like exploration, different types of podcasts. But video podcast has been really new for us. And I work on Kiki's podcast for social, and we playing spades, and we have like these new podcasts that focus on Black people. And it's like, Black women are still going to be point of mind, Black men as well, and just telling those Black stories authentically. And it always finds me. I'm always
Yeah.
going to find my way back to it because I feel like that's the core of my being, is to tell our stories and be as authentic and rich in those stories, whether it's an experience through a podcast, whether it's a film. That's always going to be my main focus.
Yes.
I love that because earlier when we asked you who influenced you to get started, you said that this is a male dominated career path.
It
So
is.
for you to take everything from beauty to screen to whatever that you're working on, social media, you're focusing on the Black queens and the Black kings. So you're making sure that you're uplifting your community as you continue to climb in all that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's the authentic for me. Yes.
Yes.
Controlling the narrative, okay?
Yes.
Telling the stories the way that they should be told and the way that they're meant to be told.
Right. And it should be unfiltered. I feel like there are so many, like, we were talking film TV, like, there's so many different stories about our lovely white counterparts, but they have all different walks of lives can be found in our stories. And when it comes to our stories, like there was a time that I always feel like we were able to expand more in time, and we have those moments. But it's like similar narratives are always shared. You just kind of try to. It's like, how can we get this narrative because we know it's going to get greenlit, but like, how do we like navigate and show other things in that story? But it's like we have every right to be like, we need to tell what we all look like. We're all different. I think we learned out of Clark Atlanta, no one is the same. We went to an all black college and it was probably one of the most diverse places that I've ever been. So it's like, why can't our media reflect that? And I think that's always going to be something for me. It's like we have diversity in ourselves. Why can't we showcase that visually? Because I think other cultures need to see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so many different stories and narratives to be told that haven't even been written yet because people are constantly recycling the same images, the same stories, and just
Right.
like just putting a little, let me just put a little sprinkle of this on top to make it seem like it's a little different. It's the same story. It's the same single mother. It's the same, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
same narratives that we keep seeing. We don't have to keep seeing that. We can see our people in different lights
Yeah.
because they do exist.
They do. And it's crazy because I've seen films where I was like, I'll like look at whether it's like a trailer I watch or like a clip from it, or I actually watch the film, and I'm just like, wow, this is such a unique story of a black person I just wouldn't think of. And I look at the director and it's a white boy. That has happened quite a few times. And it's like, why are we should be able to tell our own stories and those be picked up and those to be spread in the world. And it's like, we need to take the opportunity for ourselves for sure, but also need the industry at large, the execs, people like that, which obviously is a bigger thing in itself, but to take chances on those stories and they're just not. And I know that comes down to different things, whether it's how well it does, if it's as successful, also us taking accountability and supporting that content when it goes out into the world. Because again, being behind the scenes, I'm like, y'all, this is out in the world. Please support it. Please support it. It's going to get canceled. We can't complain that things are getting canceled, but we're not supporting it. So it's like there's different factors there, but we deserve the right to share who we are as a full, unique people on screen and on media.
Speaking of projects, is there a project that you've done so far that you're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of my baby. Like this is everything. Or do you feel like you're sitting in a seat where you're waiting for like, this is going to be like Kiana, like everybody knows me for this big project?
I think there's both. I think there's both. As for current projects that I've done, I think my thesis is always going to have a special place in my heart. I recently, it's been 2 years, that's crazy. I did a project with Nakia Stevens. Her writing label is Damn Right Originals. And she asked me, she's like, hey, do you want to direct this web series? And I was like, ooh, web series. I've done a web series. Like, I've done a lot of short films. I haven't done features yet, but like a web series would be different. And she was just like, yeah. So she sent me the script and it's called The Psychological Evolution of Fuckboys. You can watch it. It's on YouTube.
I think I saw that. It was on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched that.
It's with KTV, so Kiki's company, which is crazy that I now do social for a podcast through my day job. And it's like, I did that project previously. And I think that was one challenge for me. Like I did 7 of the 8 episodes. And it was fun because it's like I'm building out a world differently, like across different episodes. And I was playing with so many different characters and personalities, and like it was just a fun exploration to do. And just a cool story of, this woman who was interviewing these different fuckboys. It was very relatable, but it's like it was also really fun to like bring those people to life and just have fun with it and dive into like the backstory of why they are the fuckboys that they are, because we all have a backstory. People aren't just horrible for just being horrible. Some people are, but most of the have a backstory as to why they are horrible. So it was nice. But I think that comes from, like I said, the blueprint is always the script. And it was just fun to be like reading her scripts and being like, okay, I know exactly how to bring this to life. I know exactly how to expand on this and how I can then visually take like these little moments that you have and just like focus on a little moment here so that you really can humanize those characters. Because I feel like it can become a character piece very quickly um, because of what it's talking about, but they're human people, they're people that we know. So it's like, it's nice to kind of bring that to life. So I would say that that's one of my favorite projects so far. But as in for my own work, it's like I always have this like one little idea that has stuck with me for a really long time. And I think I'm gonna be really proud of myself when I bring that to life because it's again a coming of age story which I've loved and it brings my experiences but also like just I think general experiences being like the daughter of a Jamaican immigrant mother. It's also very Americanized. But like bringing that to life and just funny things and just growth and trying to find independence, but also like sexual exploration. Like there's so many different aspects of it. But again, she got to write it. So
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I look forward to it because that web series, I remember having to rewind a few times. Like a lot of times when I watched it, I was doing my laundry and I'm like, oh my God, that happened. Having to go back. So it wasn't like a campus movie fest or like a 1, 2, 3 kind of quick thing. So for me,
yeah,
as somebody who knew you at Clark Atlanta, to see this on screen, I felt so proud. And to see your name come up and everything, it was like, oh my God, I really enjoyed this. So I'm looking forward to more projects. I know you have something now that you posted on your Instagram.
yes,
And there's continuing, you have more projects that you're continuing to roll out. So I'm always in the background watching your stuff, even though I don't always say anything. It's just really like a big hug to just actually see the things that you've been working on to come to fruition. So
yeah. Oh, I can speak to that project too because I love that's my current career high. That one is, which is the I guess because people will be listening or watching. I did it was a social series for one of our podcasts, which was Black History for Real. Highly recommend y'all listen to it. It is like audio storytelling to like the 10th power. Like it's so cool to hear historic moments come to life, like just using audio. Um,
oh
which is
Dope.
it's really, really cool. And but it's
yeah.
also like cool to see the commentary. It's hosted by Conscious Lee and Francesca Ramsey. But there's really great stories on there. But when we were thinking of like how do we want to promote this and bring it to life, like it's really hard to, which is a challenge for me, is to figure out how we can visualize something that is audio because social is such a visual platform and we didn't have video for it. So it's like, okay, what can we do? So the idea came up to being like, oh, we can probably do like some type of animation, which we've done before for other podcasts, but just not for one, a show that is focused on Black history, and two, just it's only been for one specific show that we were doing it for. So I was like, okay. So I took the project on and I connected with Cartoona, which is the animation studio, and we worked really hard on it. And I would stay up and try to figure out how I can take a full like 45-minute script and like what are the best moments that are going to be the most visually compelling to turn into an animation, and like how can I like change lines and put them together to tell the story right and do this in 30 to 60 seconds. So it was a little tedious. But just to see that come to life and also the first time like doing anything with animation,
Mm.
like it was such a cool project to work on and just very different for me, but also it still pulled in, different elements from my film side and my video side that it was just fun to do that I don't think I was able to do before that time when I started working in the podcast industry. So it's a great project.
How do
Great,
you
great.
feel when you see the projects though? Like,
When they're done,
yeah.
oh, elated. One, because we did it. It's over. We did it. It's over. I loved it, but glad we reached the end. But also, like, it's something to like look back on and just be like, wow, like I had a part in this, or that was in my head. Like I saw that in my head and now I'm seeing this on the screen. Like it's something to where it's not tangible necessarily because it's like it is video, it is a piece of media, but it is still tangible to be like, that was just in my thoughts. And I'm able to share this with other people and they can see it for themselves. So there's something very rewarding about that. I think that's also the part that keeps you going because it's just like, wow, I was able to really accomplish that. Like I was able to really even fight myself to get to the end of that. And it's a beautiful project, and to see like people receive it well, or like what they take from it, or comment, respond, like different things, like that is always very rewarding. Especially to hear if it touches people. So that is one of my favorite parts as well.
I love that.
You know
Yeah.
I'm happy in that way.
So for someone, even though you started off as a fashion major, but you are where you are now, what
Mhm.
advice would you give to any other young Black women or Black men who are trying to break into this industry that you're in?
Yes, keep an open mind. If this is something that you want to do, stick with it. Like really push yourself. And I'm saying this, I have to say to myself as well, but like really push yourself. But also, if this is an industry that you want to be in, just generally, like, right, like explore the world, pay attention to people, like take inspiration from anywhere and tell your story. And then if it's like you want to come to LA, like get a job, you know, secure a plot for yourself, but also network and meet people because you really never know who you can meet that could contribute to your growth or be helpful in getting your next job, or someone you can shadow. Like you really don't know. Like I've met people randomly. I met one of my mentors slash sisters slash friends. Like I love her dearly. I met her on an elevator. Like very
Aw.
random. And we lived down the street from each other and just became very close friends. I know people who had started assistant jobs and met people at dry cleaners, at gas stations. You just never know who you're gonna meet. So I would say stay open, do your work, continue, stay focused, but also give yourself grace.
Come on, Grace.
That's
Always
good.
gotta give yourself some grace because hey, the struggle,
Give yourself some
the
grace.
starving artist is real. Okay.
Yes. And that's okay. It's like sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes it's like you need to rediscover yourself. Sometimes you need to go on a journey of inspiration. Like it's not a one path type of thing. So take what you need, do what you need to do, but just don't lose sight of the original goal that you initially had.
Absolutely. That's why I say sometimes I go through stuff just so I'm forced to write about it. I'm like, nobody's gonna believe this happened to me. Like, are you kidding me? I need to
The
write
stuff
this
your
down.
students do, girl. I said Monie needs to be writing for Abbott Elementary because the stuff that she said.
Listen, and if that means that you need to write a spec strip and find out who you need to send it to, like if you work with kids, like write that script, send it. You literally never know where things can go.
That
Send a
part.
post, email. You never know where things can go. So I say go for it. I love Abbott.
I got a few different things up my sleeve. Okay.
Oh my god.
I don't have any more questions. I feel like I learned a lot. And it was good to hear from your side, the things that you do, and hearing you connect with Moni, and then seeing like, oh, how I feel as a viewer on my side. But Moni, do you have any more questions for Kiana?
I actually don't, because you know if I did, I would have gone ahead and threw it in the pot. But
That's true.
I actually do not have any more questions. I actually really enjoyed this conversation. I loved hearing your journey and what you're doing now and seeing how you've grown and how you're going to continue to grow. I look forward to seeing you bloom in the industry and seeing more work of yours. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you.
Me too.
I'm excited for both of you. I love this podcast.
Aw.
Stick with
Thank you.
it. Keep going. But
We
thank
will. We
you.
will.
I know. I was like, thank you so much just for giving me a space to, you know, ramble. But also like talk, and I think it's fun. I obviously can see I get excited about it. So it was nice, and it's also nice to see you too. I love you guys
Yeah.
dearly.
I love you too, girl.
I know. So I'm excited for what you guys both do together and separately. And I also watch you guys. Like I love watching everybody just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
Oh, again, I work in social media. Social media is a job. So I barely post because I'm like, this is a job.
Yeah.
I hear that.
But it's always nice to keep up with you guys to see what you're doing. So congrats on the podcast. Keep it going.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I guess until next time, whatever that may be.
Yes. But before you go, speaking of socials, do you want to let the people know where they can find you if they want to tap in?
Yes. So you can find me on, let's focus on my Instagram because that Twitter is about to be deleted.
Girl,
And yes, I still call it Twitter. I am not calling it X.
same.
But you can find me at Film Afro, and it spells film the same way, but Afro is AFREAUX. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
We'll definitely put it down in the bio, y'all. In the description. In the description.
Yes. I love this. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming on. And until next time, maybe we'll see you on the promenade sometime.
Right. At some point.
Probably homecoming again.
Right.
Yep.
We'll see. I think I'm going this year. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? In today's dorm story segment, Yaya and I are going to be sharing an experience that we have related to being a part or in some type of media. Right. Yaya, go ahead. Start us off, girl. What you been? You been in a movie? Clock that.
I keep
What
doing
you do?
that because I'm seeing, I thought people were applauding, and then I'm like, oh, that. I just learned yesterday. That's why I keep doing it. Oh my gosh, I've done a few little things before. Of course, I've been in your movies and CAU. But recently, I was telling my nephew that my mom and I were in a newspaper crying. So the summer after my 8th grade, my school at that time, for the first time ever, hosted a group of, I think, 12 of us students to go out of the country. And this was my first trip ever out of the country. First trip that my school actually hosted, taking students out of the country. And the furthest that I would be away from my mom, because we had chaperones, but the chaperones were parents. I mean, sorry, we're not parents. They were teachers. So it was a big deal for the city of Newark. So before we took off to go to the train station for our big trip to New Zealand, there were so many people from medias coming into the school to take pictures, video, and everything of us while we were there. So one of the big pictures that they took was of me lying on my mom's chest with my Armani Exchange shirt on, crying. I had cornrows and everything, y'all. I looked so cute. But I was crying on my mom's chest because the furthest I've ever been away from my mom at that point in life was going to visit my paternal family in North Carolina. And then two, New Zealand is a different time zone. So trying to figure out, like, will I ever be able to speak to my mom, because we were going away for 2 weeks. So yeah, my name, my age, my little prompt is in the newspaper. And then they also got pictures from our teachers of us doing like the things of the Maori culture and enjoying ourselves while we were in New Zealand. So I've been in news before, like when I was a cheerleader and things like that. But that one of the travel, when I was going through some stuff that I have in my house, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. My mom laminated the newspaper clipping so that I would have it forever. Because the pages turn yellow.
Yeah.
It's literally like the newspaper. You open it up and like the big paper like that. The New Jersey Times, I think that's what I was in.
Oh my gosh, I love that because mine is so similar. My mom nominated me being in the newspaper.
Wow, what happened?
So, as the youth center I used to go to, the East Oakland Youth Development Center, I took West African dance. I can't remember why they were there to put the program in the newspaper. I think they were just talking about the center in general. But there was a picture of me dancing on the front page with my name as one of the dancers. Mama clipped it and put it and laminated it, and so I can have it forever.
Yeah.
Me dancing. I did not know I was going to be in the paper. I was just at dance practice, doing what I do. But that's a great memory for me to have because West African dance was a very, very big part of my life. From fourth grade all the way through high school, I was dancing. So to have that memory to be shown, oh Lord, if y'all can hear, they praising the Lord next door.
Yes.
It's throwing me. Not to say they can't praise him, but the drums, amen. Anyway, but to just have that memory of when I was doing something that I really, really loved as a child. I love that my mom did that for me, but my mom kept a lot of things that I did. Another time I was in a paper was when I was in a program called Summer Search. And one of the things that they did, I went on a backpacking trip when I was 16. That was before my junior year of high school. And then before my senior year of high school or before I graduated? I don't remember, but they basically wanted to make sure that you were gone for the summer, basically to get you acclimated to being used to being away from home before you went to college. So I went to a boarding school for a summer. And while I was there, I took a creative writing class, and one of my poems was featured in the
Oh, how
paper.
cool is
I didn't
that?
know my poem in the paper, so I still actually have that paper. I wish I had it with me so I could show y'all, but it's in California. But that was really dope to me that they actually, I didn't realize it was a competition. They just chose clippings from that class and included my poem in the newspaper. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so special. What school was that? Northfield Mount Herman. I was somewhere in Massachusetts. I
No.
was in Massachusetts. Right. That school was in the middle of nowhere. And I only remember that because we had to take a bus to go out. I think we went to Target and they took us to the movies.
Uh-huh.
And it was civilization because the school we were surrounded by like lots of trees and mountains. But that was a really, really great experience for me to be able to actually have the experience of understanding what it's going to be like to be away from home and even to have to call or write a letter and live in dorm style. But yeah, being able to be in the paper, because I didn't take the journalism class. So the journalism class took work from other students and put it into the paper. And I thought that was really cool. So I definitely still have that clipping, and then the one that my mom has of me dancing, doing my thing.
Now I want to go through my stuff and pull out the clipping. I definitely do have it. I want to share one more since you shared two. Mine is simple. I used to be a cheerleader for Pop Warner when I was younger, and we always looked forward to the opening season because we would have a parade downtown Newark, just going from the tippity top to, I think it's the whatever, y'all don't know. Anyway, like this like little waterfall section where we will like show off our cheer skills and everything and cheer on the football players. And they used to record the parades and put it on TV. So I used to always look forward to, after the parade, going home and seeing if they got me and my friends on the TV. And a couple of times I actually did see myself on TV. So that was fun. So I guess this is a message to people who are in media. Shout out to the kids, that's something that's fun that the children may look forward to. Maybe their friends or family members are at home watching, or they can be like me and Simone and have something from that special event or special time in their life that they can hold on to. So yeah.
Absolutely.
One time.
And shout out to the mamas. We are recording on Mother's Day. Shout out to the mamas cutting the clippings and keeping the memories. My mama keep everything. I think she even kept my accident reports for when I got injured when I was in school.
Bro.
Like, she keeps everything.
My mom has my report cards, things I made when I was at Chin School, which was the baby daycare and all that other stuff, little things. I wanted to be a doctor and Martin Luther King and all that.
That too, what I want to be when I grew up, all the things.
Immunization record she gave to me too. I think I probably threw that out, but I was like, why do you have this?
She has a folder for each of her girls. We all have a folder with stuff in it. Like my mother has a file cabinet you could go through and find stuff that we did when we were kids. I'm gonna do the same thing when I'm a mother.
And the fun thing of this is, if you ever want to write a story about LoveLoudd, we got all the documents for you to go through and know. Yes. You want the immunization records? I got it. You want my report card?
I'll give you my mother's number. You can call her directly.
I probably threw a lot of it away. My dad be sending me random pictures too. Like, you remember drawing this? What? I drew that. I always know how to draw. Okay. Cool. That's cool enough. But yeah, my mom used to mail him the stuff that I would make for Father's Day and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love that. Shout out to the mothers. All right, y'all. And now we are going to head on over into the community news.
Then I'm gonna order some chicken wings.
It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements.
Hey.
Hey, thank you so much to Kiana for coming through and giving us her journey of being a director, writing stories, telling stories, being in the mix of the movie world,
Yes.
sharing her stories with the world. Oh, I love that.
I want to give a
Thank
shout out, double shout out. We never did this before to Kiana too, because now that I'm watching shows, like I was watching Forever, I'm like, okay, this is not the luteal phase. This is something that production did to make me feel like this is so funny. I'm like, I want to experience love. Meanwhile, I am experiencing love, but it's like this movie is so good. Why am I crying? Or why am I feeling like this? It's just the people who put their hands on that show.
The work that goes into creating the environment, but writing the script, but deciding how you want the audience to feel, everything that just goes into a production step by step up until the point where it's being shared with the world. There's so much that goes into
It's
it.
so good.
It's a beautiful process. Some people don't like the process. I love the process. Like I said, I love the character development of it all. Like it starts with the characters before even telling the story. Like who are these people? What is their world?
It's
And
so
how are
good.
people yes.
Make me want to
And
go
that's
to a
what
movie theater.
making out here making stories relatable.
Yes. Speaking of relatable, to stay relatable, to stay connected to you all, we do have social media outlets, which are Instagram, Facebook. We have our podcast available on YouTube and some old clippings and things like that, fun things on our YouTube as well. Yeah, so make sure that you're following us and subscribe. Monie, you're so funny. Subscribe to our platforms.
Girl.
Yeah, I love it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you're following us. I gotta tell you something when we stop recording, Moni.
Okay.
Yes, please help us get our numbers up. Like we
Please.
need our numbers up because it's free for y'all to listen to us. It's not free for us. We pay for this stuff.
Hey,
Help us get $1.
we holla for $1. Yay. So yes, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the things. We appreciate the support. And when you do subscribe and you watch the episode, go ahead and also leave a review. Reviews can be shared on all of our platforms. Let us know when we put our clips up on Instagram, put a little comment on there, interact with us on YouTube,
Yes.
make a comment. Please interact with us. We'll interact back with you. Don't be shy. Say a little something. Let us know you like us or you don't like us. I don't know. Give us your honest opinion. What do you want us to talk about? Do you
Yes.
have some ideas for us? Some icebreakers, some questions that you may want us to answer? Or you want to be on the show? What you want to talk about?
Please don't be AI. We got emails. I don't know if those are real. But yeah, send us some messages, encourage us. But also I love a good DM. But please put it in the comments so that other people can see as well. That helps with the traction and help to gain our audience. I really aspire. I don't think
Come
we've
on.
ever said this on the podcast. We say it to each other, but I am witnessing other podcasters have anniversaries after anniversaries and they're doing a damn thing. And that's what keeps me strong, hearing them say, we've been doing this for 10 years. We've been doing this for X amount of years. And that's the audience is trickling. So I'm staying strong because I really love doing this podcast thing. And I really
Yeah.
want to, us to grow and be able to do the things that I see other podcasters doing and things that they're not doing too, because we are different. Our podcast, we're not current events and things like that. We have something different to bring to the table. We are real life best friends.
Oh, come on, do it again. Clap
We
that.
are real life best friends. And I just really, really love what we do. Like I wouldn't invest into us if I didn't believe in what we're doing. And if it wasn't fun, like even if y'all don't
Absolutely.
listen, I mean, please listen. But even if y'all don't listen, this is one of the fun things for our relationship too. So yeah, just
What she
Yeah, but also, yeah, just if you can please just comment on our actual post and repost us sometime if you think what I said about the cats is funny. Repost it, let other people laugh too.
the story so other people can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for real, for real. But yeah, shout out to Kiana, shout out to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, shout out to Married to Medicine, shout out to Unpack and Diagnose. I just messed that up.
Unpacked and Detangled?
Yes, I'm thinking about Priscilla's podcast.
Undiagnosed and Unpacked and Detangled are two different
Yeah.
podcasts.
Shout out to all our mental health workers, the teachers, people graduating right now, birthdays coming up.
Shout out to this weather.
Yes, shout out to my Leo phase being over. I'll see you next month. And anything else you want to share, Monie?
We will be back in y'all ears in 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. Stay black and
stay proud. Bow, 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 bow.
Shout out to the Clark Atlanta alumni and current students.
Oh, we are over. The show is over. The show